Hey everybody, welcome to another game in May Madness. Previous game we saw the Brooklyn Dodgers, them bums, hang on and beat the Big Red Machine Cincinnati Reds. Tonight we move across the bracket to right here, the 1986 Mets, the number 4 seed and second highest seed team still remaining, will take on Earl Weaver's Baltimore Orioles from 1979. I had a request once before about people would like to see base runners and so forth, so I'm going to try something new. It may or may not work, we'll see. But I brought the strat-o-matic basic board out, and I'm going to use this token here to keep track of outs during the game. And then as people get on base, I've got these little base runners, so I'm going to put them on base on their positions and just kind of roll around it. But at least people will get an idea how many outs there are and what the base runners are, in case you can't read my hieroglyphics of score sheets that I use sometimes. So that's first order of business, to try that out and see how it works. Second thing is, I got this in the mail yesterday, and I've gotten kind of a curiosity to dead ball era, particularly the 1908 season, which is supposed to be one of the more dramatic seasons back during that time frame. I just got this book called Crazy 8 by Kate Murphy. It says how a cast of cranks, rogues, boneheads, and magnates created the greatest year in baseball history. So shout out to Beatles Eternally, who turned me onto this, as well as to Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming, who are both into the dead ball era quite a bit. I think Strat Delaware or Tabletop Delaware is also into that as well, at least a few people. So I'm going to try to study up on it. I did get the 08 season on Action PC that was on sale for less than $10. So I'm going to try to read up on the season and see about trying it out and see how I like it, how I like that brand of ball. A lot of good Hall of Famers in there and some good history. I'm a history buff and a baseball fan, so that kind of ties in together. All right, back to the matter at hand. It's the Mets and the Orioles. First things first, we'll look at the starting lineup first for the Baltimore Orioles. They are the lower seed, so they will be the quote-unquote visiting team. And leading off for them in center field will be Al Bumry. Batting second at second base is Rich Dower. Hitting third in right field is Ken Singleton. Batting cleanup at first base is Eddie Murray. John Lowenstein's in left field. He will hit fifth. Pat Kelly gets the DH today instead of Lee May. It was a tough choice, but I went with Pat Kelly. Pat Kelly, pretty good against right-handers, so that's why he's in there. He's loaded up against the righties. Doug DeCinces is at third base. He will hit seventh. Rick Dempsey, the catcher, will bat eighth. And Kiko Garcia, the shortstop, will hit ninth. And on the mound, Jim Palmer, because Mike Flanagan pitched game 1, so now Jim Palmer will be pitching game 2. And Palmer was 10-6 with a 3.30 ERA and 22 starts. He did have some injury problems because he only had 22 starts, so he did miss some time, but it was still pretty effective. And he's probably the Orioles' second best starter from that season. All right, now we move on to the 1986 Mets. Leading off will be Len Dykstra in center field. Batting second is Wally Backman at second. Hitting third is Keith Hernandez at first. Gary Carter, the catcher, will bat cleanup. Darryl Strawberry's in right field. He'll hit fifth. Ray Knight's at third. He'll hit sixth. Danny Heaps, the DH, he will hit seventh. And Rafael Santana will hit eighth. And Mookie Wilson, the left fielder, will bat ninth. And on the mound is Ron Darling. And on the 86 season, Ron Darling 15-6 with a 2.81 ERA. All right, so that's what we have. And we'll go ahead and get everything lined up, and hopefully this will work. We'll see. Like I said, it's kind of an experiment just to see how it does. Hopefully you can see the cards, and if I get a base runner first, that won't affect. I can still see the pitcher and everything. Right now we're at 0 outs. If I was playing basic, I could put the card here for the pitcher, and I guess I could do that. That's kind of away from the camera, so that you can see it better, hopefully I'll leave them right here, and hopefully that will work. I do have the dice out. Got Baltimore Oriole color dice and New York Met color D20, and also Mets have the orange as well, so it's kind of a blue-orange type thing. So now I believe we are ready to go. Al Bumry will lead things off. In fact, it's probably better if I put the whole stack there and just take them away as I don't need them, or as they finish. So Al Bumry will lead things off, and if I'm looking at my phone here, Looks like you can see both cards pretty well. So here we go. You just can't see the score sheet, but you don't really need to because I've got the base runners in the out situation here. And now about every 3 innings or so, I'll bring the score sheet in and show the updated score sheet. All right, so this game, Sweet 16, is underway. Number 4 seed Mets against the number 13 seed Orioles. Bumry the batter, 6-7 against Darling the left-hander. 6-7 against the lefty is a strikeout. So right away, Ron Darling gets the K on Mr. Bumry. And there's one away for Rich Dower. Dower, a 4-9. 4-9 against a right-hander is another strikeout. So Ron Darling, 2 strikeouts apiece. And in their first round games, the Mets dispatched the 75 Red Sox and the Orioles dispatched the 2017 Astros. So that's how they got to the Sweet 16. And the winner of this game will actually play the winner of the next one of the future games, which is the 2003 Yankees against the 71 Pirates. Here's Ken Singleton, switch hitter, 4-5 from a lefty. That's a fly to left. So an easy inning for Ron Darling, 1-2-3, and we are scoreless as we go to the bottom of the first. In fact, what I need to do as well, I guess, is to get some dice out here to represent the score. Let's do that. I'll get a white die for the Orioles and a blue die for the Mets. And right now it's 0-0, so I won't put any dice out there to show a score yet. But we'll do that once they start getting some runs on the board. Let's see, do I have a white die that's got numbers on it? Probably not. I'll have to go to a different color. So we'll do a red die for the Orioles and a blue die for the Mets. How about that? Once we get some runs. Now if we get above 6, we're in trouble. All right, we'll see. All right, Jim Palmer will start things off, and he'll be facing Nails, Lenny Dykstra from the Mets. Dykstra against Palmer. 4-9 against Palmer, the lefty. Against the lefty, it's a single to center field. So first base runner of the game, it's Lenny Dykstra. He will be at first base. He is a double-A stealer, so you definitely have to check out his chance to steal. As a double-A, he starts as a 17, being held makes him a 15. Then we look at Rick Dempsey. He's a -3. It's a 1-12. So 1-12, and you know what? They're going to go ahead and take a chance. 1-12, we're going to see if Dykstra can steal. It is a 12. He just makes it. So Dykstra slides into second base. A little bit over dramatic there, but he slides into second base. So he is aboard and in scoring position with nobody out for Wally Backman. Switch hitter, batting left-handed, looking to pull one to the right side at least to move the runner up. 1-6 for Backman against the right-hander. He's going to do more than that. 1-7 is a double, 8-20 is a single, both 2 stars, so Dykstra will score automatically. Question is it a single or a double? It's a 5, so it's a double for Wally Backman, and they are getting to Palmer early. So Backman now is the runner at second, nobody out. He will be held. He is a B stealer, so they're going to have to hold him on for Keith Hernandez. Palmer is getting a little chagrined here. 6-10 against a left-hander is a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Al Bumry. Bumry checks in as a 2E8. So a 2E8 for Bumry. 2-18, he'll get to that. E8 and a 5. E8, a 5 is a rare play, rare play in center field. So we'll go to the rare play for a F8. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to see if it's F2 or F1. 18 and a 2 is an F3 actually. So we'll go to rare play for F3. The outfielder runs into the gap and makes a nice catch. The lead runner, who lost sight of the ball, was running hard, stops and tries to get back to his base. However, he cannot return in time as the outfielder fires the ball to the bag for the double play. So how about that? How about that? Al Bumry not only tracks it down, but Backman had already thought the ball was going to fall in. It had already gotten to third, and so Backman's going to be doubled off as Bumry fires it into Kiko Garcia. So we'll call it an 8 and an 8-6 double play, and that will erase the base runner Backman, and now there's 2 outs with the bases clear. So that certainly helps Jim Palmer quite a bit. That nice play there by Al Bumry. 6-11 for Carter against a right-hander. 6-11. Ooh, that's danger for Jim Palmer. And the bad part about with Palmer is most of these results are coming off his own card. 6-11 is a home run chance. 1 to an 11 is a home run. Gary Carter has normal power. 1 to 11, it's gone. It's gone. So solo shot could have been a lot worse, but the runner got doubled off. So it's only 2-0. It seems like it should be about 3 or 4 to nothing. It's only 2-0, so certainly within striking distance. But Palmer needs to get his act together. Here's Darryl Strawberry, still 2 outs. 3-3 for Strawberry, and he will strike out. So end of the inning, but 2 runs are in for the Mets. So now we have a 2-0 Mets lead. Got the 2 there, but there's nothing there for the Orioles because they don't have any runs yet. So it's 2-0 in favor of the Mets after 1. And now Darling comes out trying to protect a 2-run lead, back to 0 outs. And Eddie Murray steps to the plate. Murray, 4-5. Darling against a switch hitter batting left. 4-5 is a fly to left. So 1 away as Murray is retired. John Lowenstein. 3-6 for Lowenstein against a right-hander. It's ground ball to first, handled by Keith Hernandez. And that's an easy play for out number 2. And that will bring up the DH, Pat Kelly. I'll put this up here so it won't interfere with the dice. That way it's like a scoreboard up there. So it's 2-0. In fact, I can use a D10, I guess, for the... Let's see what I can use. I think I got something's got a 0 on it. A D10 has a 0 on it, I do believe. So maybe that would work as well. Yeah, see if this shows up to make sense here. Hopefully, well, kind of hard to see it, but it's 4-0. Trust me. Once they score a run, if they score a run, we'll move it up. All right, so here's Pat Kelly. 3-5 for Kelly. He's going to strike out against the right-hander. So easy inning there for Ron Darling. 1-2-3 once again. We go to the bottom of the second. In fact, I need another one for the inning, don't I? Okay. Another 10-sided die, or actually I'll use a 20-sided die. Maybe, no, I guess I'll use a 10-sided die. So let's get a 10-sided die out here. Somewhere. There's a 10-sided die in here somewhere. We can denote the inning. So we are at the bottom of the second. So that's the second inning. That's what that 2 represents. Is we're in the second inning. All right, so Darling, 2 innings, no issues whatsoever. Palmer, on the other hand, had some issues. So now we got Ray Knight. Ray Knight, 3-6 for Knight against a right-hander. He's going to ground to short, handled by Kiko Garcia. 1 away, and that will send up Danny Heap, the DH. 6-9 against a lefty, and that's a 1-2 home run chance. 3-20 is just going to be a deep fly to the right fielder Singleton. It's a 1. It's gone. Danny Heap, a home run. So how about that? Catching Jim Palmer with the gopher ball, and the Mets now lead it 3-0. So 3-0 thanks to the Danny Heap homer. And now that will send up Rafael Santana. 1-8. Santana 1-8 is going to pop to first. Murray's got it. 2 down. 2 outs, bases clear for Mookie Wilson. 6-7. Palmer against a lefty because it's a switch hitter batting left. Ground ball second base X. That's Rich Dower. And Rich Dower checks in as a 2E17. 2E17. 2-1. That's going to get through for a base hit. So no chance there. 2-1 is a S single with 1 star. And we got a 7. 7, and he is an E17. E17, there is no 7, but it is going to be a single. So a 2-out single for Mookie Wilson. So Mookie Wilson is aboard. Starting to get busy down here. I may not like this setup after all. I may have to go back to the old way of doing it. We'll see. I always like to try to experiment though and see if I can get something to work a little bit better, but sometimes you fail when you do that. All right, top of the order, Lenny Dykstra. We get a 3-4 for Dykstra, and he's going to pop it up to Eddie Murray, and that's going to end the inning. So Mets get the run on the Heap homer, and after 2 complete, it is 3-0 in favor of the Mets. So 3 signifies we're in the 3rd inning. And coming up for the Orioles will be Doug DeCinces. Bottom of the order, DeCinces, Dempsey, and Garcia. 5-7 against the right-hander for Darling. 5-7. Ground ball, second base X. It's Wally Backman. Backman's a 3-E30. 3-E30. 3-2. That's going to get through for a base hit. Base hit, first hit of the game for the Orioles. And let's see here, that's an 11. He's an E30 on an 11. There's 12, but no 11, so it's just simply a base hit for DeCinces. Leadoff single, and the Orioles have their first base runner. Is Doug DeCinces. That'll bring up the catcher, Rick Dempsey. Dempsey against Darling, 6-8. Struck him out. Darling with the strikeout. 1 away. And that will send up Kiko Garcia. 3-8 for Garcia. That's a strikeout against a right-hander. So Darling picking up that strikeout. Now there's 2 away. All he has to do now is deal with Al Bumry, who he struck out his first trip. 3-9 for Bumry. And he's going to strike out. So he strikes out the side after that leadoff single. And nothing doing for the Orioles here in the top of the 3rd. All right. So nothing going on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 3-0 Metropolitans. And my little stand here fell off a little bit. So let's get this back where it needs to be, hopefully. I need to back this up just a hair. I think that'll be okay now. I don't want to shake everybody up. Don't want to do the cars and do the shake it up. Don't really want to do that and get people dizzy. So here's Wally. If I drop my white die, I knew that was going to happen. Too many stuff going on. Too busy. This may be the last time I try this particular setup. May go back to the old way. Right now, Wally Backman to lead it off. Switch hitter, 6-4. Catcher X, that is Dempsey. And as we look at Dempsey, check him out defensively. No chance for a pass ball or wild pitch, obviously. Dempsey is a 2-E3. 2-11. E3 and an 8. E3 and an 8. There is no 8. 2-11 is a P/, actually just a PO, pop out. So it's just a pop out. So Backman pops it up to Rick Dempsey, 1 away. And that sends us to Keith Hernandez. Hernandez flew to center, and that's the play that Bumry doubled up Backman on with that nice play on the rare play chart. 3-4. 3-4 would be a base hit chance if we were doing super advanced with the ballpark effects, but it's simply ground ball to DeCinces for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Gary Carter. 4-4 against a right-hander for Palmer is shortstop X. That's Kiko Garcia. Now, he's not as good as Belanger, but he's a better hitter. So Kiko Garcia is a 3-E36. So definitely taking your chances with that E36 portion. 3-18 is good. He'll get to that. The question is the E36 and the 9. So an E36 for the shortstop and a 9. E36, there is no 9, so he was able to make the play. So easy play there for Garcia, and that's going to end the inning. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go to the 4th. And it's still 3-0 favor of the Mets. And Ron Darling back out, enjoying that 3-run lead. And he'll be facing Rich Dower. It'll be Dower, Singleton, and Murray. Two up here in the top of the fourth. 3-0 Mets. 6-4 is a righty. 6-4 is a catcher X. That's Gary Carter. And Gary Carter checks in as a 1 E3. So a 1, I don't even think you need to roll the D20 for that because there's no range check on a catcher, I don't think. Let me double check it here. Well, we need to know if it's a ground out or a pop out, so we would roll the D20 just to get clarification. 7, 1 and a 7 is a P/F, and that's a 10, and he is an E3. There is no 10 on the E3, it's a P/F. P/F with nobody on base is simply going to be a foul out. So it's a foul out to Gary Carter. Dower fouls it out, 1 away. And that will send up Ken Singleton, right fielder. Switch hitter, 5-8. Darling against the lefty, struck him out. So Darling another strikeout. And for Darling now, that is a total of 7 strikeouts already, and we're not even through 4 innings yet. Got 7 Ks. Here's Eddie Murray, 2-8 against a right-hander. It's going to be a pop it up to second. Wally Backman makes the play easily, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, still a 3-0 ball game in favor of the Mets. And Ron Darling large and in charge. Palmer a little chagrined, he's not getting any run support, but Darling's doing the job. Alright, so here's Darryl Strawberry. He struck out his first chance. We get a 3-7 for Strawberry, and he's going to strike out again. So 1 away as Strawberry takes the K. Here's Ray I Dub the Knight. 5-9 against Palmer. 5-9 is a ground ball to Murray. Take it to the bag himself. 2 away. Brings up Danny Uriah Heap. 3-8. 3-8 for Heap, and he's going to hit a fly ball to center field. Easy play out there for Al Bumry, and the inning's over. So we're going to go to the 5th. We go to the 5th. It is still 3-0 Mets. Top of the 5th we go. Ron Darling has a fatigue of 7, as does Palmer. So they're both still in good shape as far as fatigue goes. John Let It Be Lowenstein's going to lead things off, left fielder. 4-9 for Darling against a lefty. Another strikeout. How about that? He just did it again. That's 8 strikeouts for Darling. That brings up the DH, Pat Kelly. 2-12 for Kelly. It's a low max. Line out to second. Backman snags it. 2 quick outs with nobody on for Doug DeSensei. 2-5 for DeSensei. He's going to strike out. 2-5 is a strikeout against a right-hander. So how about that? Ron Darling got 8 strikeouts through 5 innings. If I counted that right, or is it 9? Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, he's got 9. He's got 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. Plus tossed in a 1-hit shutout. So I'd say that's pretty good. All right, bottom of the 5th we go. Palmer still out there. We'll face bottom portion of the order. Santana, Mookie Wilson, and then Dykstra. Santana 6-10 against a righty for Palmer as a fly ball center field X. That is Al Bumry. And Bumry's a 2E8. 2E8 for Al Bumry. 2 and a 12, he'll get to that. E8 and a 14 for the center fielder. E8, is there a 14? There's a 15 and a 16, but there's no 14. So fortunately for Bumry, he was able to make that play. And there's 1 away. Santana retired. And that's going to bring up Mookie Wilson. 210 for Wilson. Oh, look at this. 1 to 16 is a home run. 17 to 20 is a double. Mookie Wilson could go deep. And it's gone. Another home run. Palmer bitten by the gopher ball again. 3rd home run for the Mets. As we had Carter with a home run solo, Heap a solo, and now Wilson a solo. So 3 solo homers. And all of a sudden now the Mets take a 4-0 lead. 4-0 lead for the Mets. Oops, get up there. 4-0 lead. I'll put it this way, I guess that's the better way to do it. 4-0. And now that brings up Lenny Dykstra. 3-5 for Dykstra, and that's trouble too. 1-16 is a double. 17-20 is a single. That's a 20, so it's a single for Lenny Dykstra. So Dykstra is aboard. Stole the first time, but now they're up 4-0, so they may just go ahead and just play it safe. He will have to be held, obviously, as a double-A stealer. Here's Wally Backman. We get a 3-7 for Backman. Fly to right, and that's out number 2. As Singleton puts it away. Brings up Keith Hernandez. Dykstra still at first, being held on. 4-2. Palmer against a lefty. 4-2 is going to fly to Singleton again to end the inning, but it is now 4-0 Mets after 5, and we go to the 6th. We go to, if I can find it, shouldn't be this hard to find the 6, should it? There it is. Kept finding the 9. All right, so we go to the 6th, and it is 4-0. 4-0. Whoops. 4-0. 4-0. And coming up for the Orioles, as Earl Weaver tries to spark something in them, it'll be the bottom of the order, unfortunately, to Sensei, Dempsey, and Garcia. So not exactly the part of the order you would expect to deliver some runs, but you never know. There's the Sensei. 112 for the Sensei, and he draws the leadoff walk. Well, sometimes big things happen with little steps, and the walk is the first step into that. First walk issued by Darling. The Sensei's a C stealer, so they will go ahead and hold him on. And here's Rick Dempsey. Dempsey, a 1-4. Ground ball back to the pitcher B. It's a fielder's choice. It'll go 1-4 as Darling throws to Backman covering. And actually, that was not the Sensei's at bat. That should have been Dempsey's at bat. My bad. So it was the first result was a 112. Dempsey on a 112 was a ground ball second base. So 86, all the thing I just said, because I batted Dempsey I batted the Sensei when he made the last out of the previous inning. So that was my fault. So we need to change that. That is the first out, and we'll re-roll on Garcia. So Dempsey is out. So that was just my bad for not moving the last player that hit in the stack. So it is actually a 4-3 ground out. So I got to fix the score sheet. It is a 4-3 ground out. Dempsey is out of there, and now Garcia comes up with 1 out and the base is empty. 1-4, that'll get a runner on base. 1-13 is a triple. 14-20 is a double. It's a 3, it's a triple for Kiko Garcia. How about that? Kiko Garcia, a 1-out triple, and on the season he hit 5 triples, so that's certainly not unheard of. So he's at third with 1 out, and of course they'll play the infield back. They'll give it the run to get the out. Here's Bumry. 2-9 for Bumry, and that's a solid single to right field, so it didn't matter how they were playing the infield. It's a base hit, and that's a run. So finally we got a run for the Orioles. So let's get a standard D6 up there so it makes more sense. Take that 0 off, and we'll put a 1 there. So it's 4-1 now. Favor of the Mets. Bumry's at first. He will be held. He's a double-A stealer. So let's see if he might think about it. Although you're down 4-1, Carter's arm is a 0. So double-A stealer makes him a 17. Being held is a 15. That's a 1-15 chance. I think they have to take that. Try to get a runner into scoring position. So Bumry, a 1-15 chance he's going to try to steal. And he makes it. So Al Bumry steals second base. He is now slid into second base. So he is there. With 1 out, he's in scoring position for Rich Dower as the Orioles try to chip away at that lead. We get a 1-7 for Dower, and that's a solid single to center, and that could very well score Bumry. He was being held. See, he runs at a 17, he's being held, makes him a 16. The ground ball, a single, is assumed to go to center. So the arm of Dykstra is a -1. So that would make it a 1 to 15 to score. They're going to take that chance. 1 to 15. They're going to send him. 1 to 15, he is in there. And he is. It's a single. Run scored for Rich Dower. Cuts the lead to 4 to 2. Orioles playing a little small ball, unlike Earl. And now it's 4 to 2. It's a 4 to 2 ball game. Rich Dower is the E-stealer. He will not be held. Now Kenny Singleton's the batter with 1 out and 1 on, 2 in, 4 to 2. Top of the 6th. 6-11 against the switch hitter batting left. 6-11's ground ball pitcher X. Darling's a 2 E38. So E38, a 2 E38 for Darling. 2 and a 9 should be okay. 2 and a 9 is a G3, so the runners will advance. And that is a total of 9, and he's an E38. E38, there's a 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15, but no 9. So he escapes that. I'm sorry, no, he doesn't escape that. That's a 10. My bad, I was reading the wrong thing. That's a 10. The 9 on the pitcher, the 9, and he's a 2, is a G3, correct. That's a 10. So 38 and a 10 is actually a 1 base error. So I did read that incorrectly. I was reading the D20 instead of the D6s like I should have been doing. That is no, it's a 9. Okay, I got it right the first time. I can't add for some reason. I was right the first time. It was a 9. I'll get it straight eventually. So the 9 means it's a G3, which means the runners advance. Well, the runner advances, so Dower will go to second. Now there's 2 outs. So it's simply a 1 to, all that to say it's a 1 to 3 ground out. How about that? So 2 down, and now that's going to send up Eddie Murray. So Eddie Murray with a chance. Get a 2-out RBI, 1-8. He will not do it. He grounds to Ray Knight at third to end the inning. But the Orioles crawl back and get 2 on the board. Cuts the lead to 4 to 2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And Palmer back out. He's on a short leash, as they do have activity in the bullpen. And looking down at the Oriole bullpen, they do have right-hander Tim Stoddard. So right-hander Tim Stoddard is loosening. Right now, here's Gary Carter, 5-5 against Palmer. Pops it up to short, 1 away. So maybe the run support is going to give Palmer a second wind. Here's Strawberry, 4-8 against a lefty. He's going to pop it up to first. Eddie Murray makes the play, 2 down for Ray Knight. 2 outs, base is clear. 2-8 for Knight. It's a ground ball to short. Kiko Garcia makes the play. That's going to end the inning. So we go to the 7th. It'll be the fatigue inning for both pitchers. Score 4 to 2 Mets. And Ron Darling will begin his point of weakness inning, same as Palmer. And he's going to start out facing John Lowenstein. It'll be Lowenstein, Kelly, and the Sensei. Start the 7th. 1-5 for Lowenstein. 1 to 3 is a home run. Anything else, Strawberry will grab it on the warning track. And he will. It's a deep drive, but Lowenstein flies to Strawberry. 1 away, and that brings up Pat Kelly. 6-5. Fly ball to right. Strawberry's got it again. So Strawberry getting active here in the 7th. 2 down. Base is clear. Brings up Doug DeSensei. 2-3 for DeSensei. He gets plunked, hit by the pitch. So DeSensei reaches on the hit by pitch. He is a C-stealer, so they will have to hold him on, but he doesn't plan on going anywhere. And here's Dempsey. 6-11 for Dempsey. 6-11. Ground ball first base X. That's Hernandez. And Keith Hernandez checks in defensively as a 1 E6. So since there's already 2 outs, we don't need to roll the D20 because we know he's going to get to it. We're just looking for if it's an error. And that's an 18, so it could possibly be an error there. Look at that, triple 6s. How do you like that? That was a 6. Triple 6s. So Hernandez is an E6 at first base, but that's an 18. 18s, I think, are almost always errors. Let's see. E6, yep, 18's a two-base error. How about that? A two-base error on Hernandez. So Dempsey will take second base, and DeCinces will go to third. So runners are now at second and third with 2 outs, thanks to the error by DeCinces. And now Earl Weaver will go to his bench. He's going to get a pinch hitter for Kiko Garcia. They will get a better hitter out there for Kiko. So they're going to turn it to Terry Crowley, designated pinch hitter extraordinaire, Terry Crowley. He will be on, Terry Crowley, on the 79 season. 317 average, only had 63 at-bats because he's primarily a pinch hitter or DH. And Mark Belanger will take over at short going forward for the Orioles in place of Garcia. So right now Crowley will pinch hit for Garcia in a big spot. Second and third, tying runs are on base. And Belanger will be the new shortstop in the bottom of the 7th. All right, so it's up to Darling now against Crowley. 1-8 for Crowley. It's a single, 2 stars. So Earl Weaver pushed the right button right there. It's a single, 2 stars. We have a tie ball game. Tie ball game here at, well, it's not, we're in a neutral park. So both runs are unearned thanks to the error by Hernandez, but we are tied at 4 apiece. And now Darling may need relief as he is starting to scuttle a little bit. Al Bumry is in. Let's see, Crowley is an E stealer, so he might get pinch run for. Let's see if we got a better runner. In fact, they could run Belanger, I guess. He's a B stealer, so they're going to choose pinch runner. Belanger will pinch run and stay in the game to play short. So Belanger will have to be held as a B stealer. So he will be held. Here's Al Bumry against Darling. 6-8 struck him out. So Darling rises up and gets through that. But now we are tied at 4 apiece as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And that's probably going to be it for Ron Darling. I imagine he is done for the day. Roger McDowell is already loosening in the Met bullpen, so Roger McDowell will be the new pitcher for the Mets in the top of the 8th. Roger McDowell. So Roger McDowell getting his warm-up tosses in the bullpen, getting ready for the 8th. Now Palmer is going to come out to start, but of course Big Tim Stoddard is in the bullpen loosening just in case. Here's DH Danny Heap. He homered and fly to center. Tied at 4 now all of a sudden. Big comeback by the Orioles. 6-8 against the lefty. Oh, that's danger for Palmer. 6-8 against the lefty. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single. So he's hoping for a 3-20 to keep Danny Heap at first base, and he is. So Danny Heap, a leadoff single. That's bad enough. And now you wonder, will they run for Danny Heap? He's only a D, so they're going to bring in a pinch runner. Will Davey Johnson? He'll go to a pinch runner, and that new runner will now be the DH going forward, I guess. So let's see who they got. A Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson's a B stealer, so they're going to put Howard Johnson. Good old Hojo. He's going to be into DH now. He's going to pinch run for Heap and be the DH going forward. But right now he's pinch running because he's got a B steal rate, so he does have to be held. And now Santana's up in an obvious bunt situation, but he's not a very good bunter. So you might be taking your chances trying to bunt him here. So let's see what Davey Johnson wants to do. They're going to have him swing away. You get a 1-9, and he's going to pop it up to third. DeCinces is there. 1 away. And that'll send us to Mookie Wilson. Here's Mookie. Homered his last trip. That is a 1-9 for Mookie. He's going to fly to right. That's handled by Singleton, and there's 2 down. So Palmer trying to get through 7 as well. Here's Lenny Dykstra. 1-5 for Dykstra. That's a walk. So Dykstra draws the 2-out walk. And that'll put 2 on with 2 outs as the pinch runner Johnson moves to second base. So now 2 on, 2 out. And Weaver wants to let Palmer get out of this. So he's going to keep Stoddard in the pen and let him pitch to Backman. 1-9 for Backman, and it was a bad move, single. If we were playing clutch, this would be an out, but we're not playing clutch. We're not playing clutch, so it's a single 2 stars, and that will give the Mets the lead right back, and that's going to be it for Palmer. Palmer will exit as the Backman hits a RBI single, puts runners on the corner, and puts the Mets up 5-4 as we go to the bullpen for the Orioles, and actually will not be Stoddard, it will be the lefty Tippy Martinez, who is also loosening down there. So Stoddard will sit down actually, and Tippy Martinez, the lefty, because the Mets have some lefties coming up. Tippy Martinez, the only lefty in the pen, so he will be coming on for Palmer. Palmer ends up going 6 2/3 innings. But he's going to give up at least 5 runs and maybe more because the runners on base are his responsibility. So Keith Hernandez, lefty on lefty against Tippy Martinez. 4-3 for Martinez, and that's a fly to left, so handled out there by Lowenstein to end the inning. But the Mets take a 5-4 lead. So maybe Earl didn't go to the pen, maybe left Palmer in a little bit too long, but he's got so much respect for Palmer over the years, he just went ahead and let him see if he can get out of it. It just didn't work for him. So, second guessers can abound. All right, now we start the top of the 8th, 5-4, favor of the Mets. 5-4, favor of the Mets. And Roger McDowell is on. McDowell will now be facing Dower, Singleton, and Murray. Part of the order for the Orioles here in the 8th. 5-7. 5-7 is a ground ball shortstop X. That is the shortstop, Rafael Santana. And Santana checks in as a 2E23. So pretty good fielder. 2E23. 2 and a 17, he'll get to that. E23 and a 14. E23, there's a 13, but no 14, so it's a good play for Santana. And there's one away. Dower is retired. That brings up Ken Singleton. That is a 2-6 for Singleton, and that's a 1-3 double. 4-20 is a single. That's a single for Singleton. So he reaches. He's a D-stealer. He will not be held, but they're not going to pinch run for him. Too good of an offensive player to do that. Here's Eddie Murray. Oh, and let me redo that in my little. I got blocked by the pond there. All right, Murray, 3-8 for Murray, struck him out. Now Earl Weaver's protesting of a tainted role, but that's just the way it is. So 2 down, and here's John Lowenstein. 2-4 for Lowenstein, ground ball to second. The runner on first, Singleton, was he being held? He is a D sealer. He was not being held, so no worries of the ball trickling through. It's simply a ground ball to second to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 5-4 in favor of the Mets. And Tippy Martinez will be back out to face Gary Carter, Strawberry, and Knight. So 2 lefties and a righty. I'm sorry, 2 righties and a lefty, my bad. So Tippy Martinez, is he going to stay in there? Yeah, he'll stay in there. Why not? We do have Don Stanhouse loosening in the bullpen. Stan the man unusual. Let's see, I rolled the wrong dice. I rolled a red die in there. How'd that get stuck in there? My bad. Here we go. 2-5 for Carter against a lefty. It's a ground ball to short. Handled by Belanger, who's the new shortstop in the game. 1 away. Now Jesse Orozco's loosening it in the Met bullpen as well, in case McDowell needs relief. Here is Strawberry, lefty on lefty, 4-7, and he struck him out. So Tippy Martinez still firing shots in there and getting the batters out. Here's Ray Knight, 3-11 That's going to be a single, though, for Ray Knight. 2-out single for Ray Knight. He is aboard. And that's going to bring up Hojo, who's the new DH when he pinch ran for Danny Heap. He's a switch hitter, so it doesn't matter who you bring in. He's going to have the advantage as a switch hitter. 6-5, though, no advantage here. He struck him out. So down on strikes, and that's going to end the inning. We go to the ninth. Last chance for the Orioles. Mets lead it 5-4. And let's see how they want to play this as far as the Mets go. That's going to be it for Tippy Martinez. If it goes to the bottom of the ninth, they will bring in another reliever. The Orioles have Kelly, DeCinces, and Dempsey scheduled. Roger McDowell staying in the game, because if you bring in a lefty to pitch to Pat Kelly, they're just going to bring in Gary Renicky to pinch hit. In fact, Renicky will probably pinch hit for Dempsey anyway. Or actually, Lee May would be also available to pinch hit. They do have Lee May and they have Gary Renicky as possibilities. So they're both certainly ready, willing, and able to get something going. So they're going to stick with the right-hander for now, because they don't want Earl going to his bench right this second. Here's Kelly. 4-5 against a lefty. That's a pop out to third. And so Pat Kelly 0-for-4. Maybe not a good move. Maybe should have had Lee May in there. So DeCinces is in, but do they stick with DeCinces? They're gonna pinch hit for DeCinces with Gary Renicky. So Gary Renicky is gonna pinch hit for DeCinces as he is 1-for-2 with a walk. I'm sorry, hit by pitch, a single, and a strikeout. But they're gonna go with Renicky. Renicky's got a better chance to get a dinger. And then Lee May is on deck. He's going to pinch hit for Rick Dempsey. So we have two pinch hitters in a row, two right-handed pinch hitters in a row. So that's going to keep Jesse Orozco in the bullpen and McDowell on the mound. Here's Gary Renicky. 6'3", ground ball pitch X. He's a 2E0. So assuming he can get to this, there's no error available. 2 and a 3. 2 and a 3 on a pitcher is a G3. He just does get to it. So Renicky is out of there. 2 down. So last chance for the Orioles. And it will not be Rick Dempsey and his .239 average. It'll be Lee May and his .254 average with 19 homers. So Lee May is going to pinch hit. And they do have Billy Smith could play third and Skaggs could catch if it gets to that. They're not really worried about that right now. They're worried about trying to tie the game. Last chance for the Orioles, 2 outs, top of the ninth, down 5-4. Pinch hitter Lee May against McDowell. 6-8, 6-8. A 1-3 is a single. Anything else, it's going to be snagged by Santana, and the game will be over. A 1-3, and we continue. It's a 13. That's gone. That's the ball game. Santana catches that liner, and there's your ball game. The Mets win it by the score of 5-4. And they eliminate the 79 Orioles. Another one of those teams from the gem set that underperforms, I guess you could say. So we will come over here and we will put in the New York Mets, although they were the higher seed, so they were kind of expected to win. Actually, the Orioles gave them a tough battle, 5-4. Let's bring in the score sheet. I'm not going to waste too much time with totals here, but Darling is the winner in this one. It's 5-4. We did have an error on Hernandez, a 2-base error there, so the Mets did commit an error. The Orioles did not commit an error. Check the hits for the Mets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 5, 10, and 1 for the Mets. And for the Orioles, they didn't get much of anything in the first 5 innings. Only 1 hit and a bunch of strikeouts. But then down here, lead off a 1-out triple by Garcia really started things off. That's the second hit. 3, 4, 5, 6. I got him for 6 hits. This is unofficial because I'm doing it pretty quick. So the way I've got it totaled, Mets win it by the score of 5-4. 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Mets. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Orioles. Winning pitcher was Ron Darling. Loser was Jim Palmer, and the save to Roger McDowell. And the Mets now will await the winner of the 0-3 Yankees against the 71 Pirates. So if the 0-3 Yankees can win, we'll have a subway matchup in the Elite 8, so to speak. So But right now, I believe the next game, and I believe that might be the next game scheduled. I think it is actually, because we've played one game from every sector, so there's only 4 games left in the Sweet 16. It's either going to be Atlanta playing the 79 Pirates. You got the 78 Yankees against the 04 Cardinals, or you got the 88 A's against the 70 Orioles, or you got the 71 Pirates against the 03 Yankees. So that's the next game. 71 Pirates against the 03 Yankees is the next game, and the winner will play the 86 Mets. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation. Like I said, I've tried something new with the setup, by having the base runners out there and the board and the score sheet off to the side. I don't know how well it worked. It was a little bit cumbersome at times, I thought, but hey, that's why you experiment sometimes, just to see how things go. But hopefully, despite my little bit of awkwardness there, that just went through okay, and you enjoyed that presentation of strat-o-matic baseball Sweet 16 style, Made Madness style. And look forward to playing more games and getting this tournament down to its Elite 8, and then it'll really be fun at that point. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and as usual, I will see you all down the road.